Hi, thank you for everyone for joining Rooted and Amplified. I am here with Iris, and we are going to talk about sex toys. So if you have children around, hide them or put them away. Iris, tell me about you and how you got started in your work.
Sure thing. So my name's Iris Olson. I use they, he pronouns. I am a gender fluid individual. I am polyamorous. I am a kink educator, and I work in reproductive and sexual health research. A little bit about me. I'm a social dancer. I do blues, fusion, West Coast swing, and a little bit of bachata. I've
Yeah.
got two snakes. Their names are Epididymis and Cervix, and I've got a dog named Flapjack.
Okay.
And my fun fact this week is I'm learning how to like grow mushrooms at this moment in time. So I'm like trying to cultivate oyster mushrooms, and it's been very fun.
Ooh.
Now, the topic for today, sex toys. How the heck did I get into like sex toy research and interested in toxicology? It actually came from like a conversation in undergrad where we were reading about sex toys, and I think we came across the blog Dangerous Lily, and we were talking a little bit about how um she's doing all of this like sex toy toxicology work, and it's like, oh my god, I would have never considered sex toys being something that I would have to be concerned about. That's supposed to be for sexual pleasure, that's supposed to be for fun, that should be something that is protected. And that conversation was back in like 2014, 2015, and it's still an issue today. We live under a system that does not protect us and allows for um oh sorry um we live under a system that doesn't protect us, and it allows for a system that anything can be put into a sex toy, and it's totally fine because it's considered a novelty item. And I'm putting novelty item in quotes for a reason, or a massager. And whatever is listed on the packaging doesn't have to be accurate because it's considered a novelty item.
Why am I not shocked about this? Because I feel like a lot of things we use in the United States is just really unregulated and not really,
Hmm.
the integrity of packaging is just always a concern for me. So, what do you, many people use sex toys and we use them on the most sensitive parts of our body. So, from your perspective, why aren't they regulated?
There can be a lot of different ways on how they are not regulated. I want to specify they're not regulated in the United States. There are a lot of countries that do have regulation. Specifically, the European Union has a really great structure for being able to regulate their sex toys and what goes in them, the packaging, the instructions, etc. But here in the United States, we do not have regulation. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is in charge of basically most of the sex toys that you see on the market.
Mhm.
Um, and they fall under either novelty items or massagers, and neither of those are considered that they need to be by mucous membranes. Like, why would you do that? It's a novelty item or a massager, so it's just not considered.
Yeah.
um, and so some of the reasons why it's not regulated is because we live in a sexist, anti-sexual pleasure society. So why is it going to be considered? Just because there's also that we just have a lack of regulation in general here in the United States, a lack of public safety, and a lack of like understanding or real care from like governmental systems and structures about like what people are consuming and what they're being exposed to is just a continuous story here in the United States.
Yeah.
And then there's also the capitalistic intention. From a capitalist point, they want you to buy toys. It's okay to put whatever they need to put into toys to help make them cheaper,
Mm.
as well as like make them more flexible or flesh-like, and I'm putting flesh-like in quotes as
Yeah.
well, um, for the sake of sexual pleasure. So why does it matter what goes in it and the later outcomes that could impact somebody when really it's about like the bottom line, making a profit? So from a capitalist standpoint, of course, this is the route that they take.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I've learned from you, because Iris came and did a presentation about this a couple of months ago, and I was appalled. And how can we as consumers or people of that use these toys, how can we protect ourselves? What are ways that we can test the products or test the materials that are being used?
Yeah. So, well, the first thing is being part of this conversation and listening to this, having an interest in what products we're using, whether it's sex toys or just other products in general.
Mhm.
So, just taking an interest is the first step. From there, if you can purchase toys that are safe for the body and you're looking into like what they're made of and looking at a lot of reviews and different blogs that do sex toy toxicology work, um, that's fabulous. That is also expensive and not everybody's reality. So a really quick and easy way of going about it without doing like any research or any testing on your own, you can put a condom over it. You can put a condom over any sex toy. And that will protect you from anything that you might be concerned about. So like we're talking a little bit about a lot of different potential chemicals. I come from the perspective, I'm coming at this from like silicone based toys and phthalates specifically. And
Yeah.
phthalates, what they do when combined with silicone or even other materials is it makes it softer.
Mhm.
And by doing that, it creates microporous holes and it leaches those phthalates and other chemicals potentially into the body. So we don't want the leaked chemicals that are being leached into the body. We don't want those microporous holes because what lives in microporous holes? Mold, mildew, bacteria, and potentially STIs. There's more research coming out that's showing that you can transmit STIs from person to person through sex toy usage. They're probably hiding in those holes as well. So condom use, freaking fabulous. Highly recommend it. Um, but if you want to take the extra step, there is flame testing, and this is only for silicone-based toys, and I really want to be clear about that. It's only for silicone-based toys. Don't do this for your ABS plastic. You don't want to burn a wooden toy. You don't want to burn a glass toy. Like,
Don't burn those.
yeah, don't do that. But for something that says it's silicone on the packaging, that doesn't mean it's actually made of silicone, or at least 100% silicone. There can be additives to it. When you try and burn silicone, and I like to think of silicone like within our household products. You might have like those silicone muffin trays that are
Mhm.
very common for those who are bakers out there. Those don't burn when you put them in the oven because silicone's not supposed to burn. You can put a lighter or a flame to silicone, and that goes for like your baking tray, but also your sex toys. And if it starts melting, if it starts creating like a residue on top, if it starts warping, that's not 100% silicone. And then you have the information to know that it's not 100% silicone. It doesn't tell you necessarily what's in it, whether it's phthalates or something else, but it does give you the information of, oh, the packaging lied to me, or I thought this toy was safe and it actually isn't. I should probably put a condom over this, or maybe I shouldn't be using this as often, or maybe I need to change the cleaning regimen as well. So like there's a couple of different avenues of going about it. And then like the easiest way of going about it is just literally sniffing your toy when you first purchase it. If it smells plasticky, that's
Mhm.
probably a problem. It's probably not supposed to smell like that because silicone doesn't have a smell to it. Our baking trays don't have smells to them because they're
Mhm.
100% silicone. If your sex toy that it says it's medical grade silicone or 100% silicone on the packaging and you smell it and it's like, ooh, this is kind of plasticky or it has some sort of odor to it, that is also a very clear sign that that's probably not 100% silicone.
Oh my goodness. I just learned something new. The silicone doesn't have a smell. So that's key. That's key. I like that. So this leads me to where can we purchase sex toys safely? Because as humans on this earth, we have a right to pleasure. So where can we safely do that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different options. You've got feminist sex toy stores, which they have some in-person sex toy stores that exist, but we have the internet, so we can just order our toys if we want to do that.
Yeah.
Um, so you've got stores like Pleasure Chest, Shebop, Good Vibrations, Shevibe. There's whole lists out there of feminist, non-toxic, body-safe sex toy stores that exist online. Those are some of my favorite go-tos. I highly recommend them. Then there's the website safefantasytoys.com, and it's this massive list of small sex toy companies that sell body safe toys, but they're more fantasy oriented for those who like have specific fetishes, or you really like fantasy, or you're like really into Star Trek, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Um, safefantasytoys.com is there for you to be able to like really collate this massive list of
Mhm.
all these different places that you can purchase body safe toys from. Um,
Oh,
and I know that we're talking a lot online. I do want to point out there are places online that do not have body safe toys. So, like Love Honey is a very popular website online for buying sex toys. They sell sex toys that are not body safe, but their website resembles a lot of feminist sex toy websites, and that's very purposeful. And then another place where a lot of people buy sex toys is Amazon. And I would never recommend buying a sex toy from Amazon.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Two reasons. On Amazon for any product, there's a lot of fakes out there. So if you think that you're buying a body safe sex toy and you've done your research and you're like, oh, it's a little cheaper on Amazon, there's a really high chance that that might not actually be by the company that you thought it was. And then it's probably not going to be a body safe sex toy. And then on top of that, everybody's aware of Amazon's return policy. That is also applicable to sex toys. So somebody can use a toy, be like, not my thing, return it, and then that toy gets sold off to another individual.
Oh
and that there's multiple instances of individuals ordering a sex toy online and like finding dried bodily fluids on the toy or pubic hairs. And no one wants a used toy, especially with how expensive they are. You want to make sure that you're having one that is safe for your body. You want to make sure that it is brand spanking new for you when you're purchasing it. And so that it's not coming to you potentially, if it is a porous toy, it does have phthalates in it or some other additive. And then it's already moldy, it's already mildewy, it already has bacteria on it. That's not what people want. People should be able to buy the toy that they want that is brand new for them. And Amazon doesn't really allow that to be like consistent to those who are consuming. Also, like buying from Amazon is just a really bad idea. They're a terrible company.
Yeah, thank you so much, Iris. And we are reaching time, but I want to make sure people are able to learn more about this if they want to on their own time, and also where we can see more of you. So let us know where we can reach you or learn more about sex toys, or just to see your wonderful face.
Heck yeah. So some resources that I would recommend are Hey Epiphora, which is a blog that does a ton of readings on sex toys. They do the sex toy toxicology and talk about like what toys are made of, but they also like experience them. They get to use the sex toys and rate them based off of what their experiences are. So I highly recommend them just to like get a nice understanding of the different sex toys that exist out in the world. They have rated hundreds of sex toys, and it's a beautiful blog. There's Dangerous Lily, which I previously talked about. It is an older blog, and they haven't had as many recent posts, but they do have a really great amount of information about sex toy toxicology, what it means to find toys that are body safe, what to look out for if you're concerned about the toys that you have or the toys that you're planning to purchase, and just a little bit about like the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the policy impacts of it. And then there's Dildoology, which is a place that if you have a lot of extra money, you can do this. You can send your toy to Dildoology and they will test it for you and tell you what it is actually made of. It does range from, to my understanding, like the $250 to the $450 range. So it is on the more pricey side, but that is a service that exists. For staying connected to me, my name is Iris Olson. You can easily find me on the internet. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, etc. But also I help run a podcast called Kinky Queries, where we answer questions from the general public about kink and the LGBTQ community. So I highly recommend that you listen in on that.
Yes, please. It's an awesome podcast. And thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.